Alrighty, welcome back to the CG Racing YouTube channel. Today we're doing brake discs on my GTI and then brake drums on Kade's
Scion XD.
Scion XD. We don't know how to do drums, so that's going to be interesting. And then we're also going to change the oil on that thing. I know you can't see it, but I'll put a picture out. Alrighty, so it's now like an hour and a half after the last clip, because we realized we didn't really know too much of what we were doing. So we tried it on this side, and what do you know, we got it done. So we're going to show you how we did it on the other side, and then we will show you our attempt at doing brake drums on that car. Look at it! So first, we're going to take this piece off, which is the actual caliper. A couple of M13 bolts in the back that also have Torx, but I would use the M13 so you don't strip that out. And then there's going to be another bolt on the back side, which is a 17. So we're going to pop that off, and then we'll pop off the caliper carriage bolts and the brake pads, and then we can pull the rotor off and get these new rotors back on.
All those dimples in there make it breathe or something so it doesn't heat up?
It keeps them cold. It keeps the rotors cooler in longer, more harsher braking conditions. So when it's like 95 in the summer here and I'm braking hard because we're out doing something, brakes aren't going to get as hot, so I'll have better stopping power.
Cool. Nice.
The big slot parts also help clear any brake dust that's built up on the caliper face. It notches them back into there and slings it out.
Yep. Alright, and then we just give her a little wiggle, and boom, caliper's off. And we're going to, as you can see, Kade's doing here. We're going to do the most safe thing that we can do with the caliper and bungee cord it to our suspension.
And it's not really
as long as we're not bending these pieces right here too far, you should be fine. Alright, next we're taking big old, I was going to say breaker bar, but this is a torque wrench. But you should probably use a breaker bar and not a torque wrench.
Do as we say, not as we do.
Yep. Educational purposes only. Alright, let's try that. There we go. Oh yeah. Look at that. Alright.
Wow, doing this with the wheel turned is so much better too.
Yeah, so the first time we did this, we didn't turn the steering, and I was cranking it up under the splitter. Caliper carriage bolt. Last one's off, and then the carriage will just pop right off. And as you can see, it is very covered in brake dust. So I'm gonna give her a good wipe down. Actually, Kade's gonna do that while I'm knocking this rotor off. So in your German brakes, there's going to be a set screw, and all the videos show them at the top because they're up on a lift so they can have their car in neutral. Well, I'm in a garage on 2 jack stands, so the set screw's at the bottom, and we're just gonna kind of
Deal with it.
trying our best not to strip it out. This way's right. That's right. So this way's left.
That's right, so this way's left.
Top tier mechanics right here with me and Kade. You'll just kind of take her on out, and you're gonna be like, oh, why is not the rotor not coming on? The rotor's beat. The rotor's beat. Thing is not coming off. So we got a mallet, and you're just gonna. Big tip right here. Your stock rotor bolts are going to be Torx bits. I'm not sure what Torx size, so I really didn't pay attention. If you buy the ECS kit with the EBC Rotors and Red Stuff, like I have right now, that Kade's putting on, the bolt they give you is a Phillips head. So you might want to reuse that bolt. The manual, I think, says somewhere about replacing that, but you could also probably just clean it and be good. So now we're going to put our caliper carriage back on. This dude right here.
That is now red.
That is now red and not black. See it, Matt? It'll match the caliper and it'll look nice. So it's going to go on like this with these bolt pieces here in the back, and that's just going to slide right on over the rotor. And then you're going to use your massive bolts some absolute thickums of a bolt. And then these you're going to want to hand tighten a little bit at a time for each one before you put your pads in, and then torque them to spec before you get your pads in. And again, these are torqued to 200 Newton meters. As you can tell, we've never used a torque wrench before. It's going the right way. It's usually just, it's tight enough. It ain't going nowhere. And that saying is like a magical spell. And indeed, it will go nowhere if you say that. There we go. Alright, caliper carriage is torqued to spec. Let's get these brake pads in. We went with the EBC Red Stuff Pads. These are like their performance street pads, low dust, pretty much just all around pretty decent pads. So this side goes out.
Get this one too.
Hold up, we got it. All right, look at that. You see how easy those just popped in? We fought them for like 30 minutes on the other side because we bent the clip.
We bent one. Yeah.
Fools. All right, so now we have to compress the piston in our caliper before you get that on. So I would suggest removing the brake reservoir cap up top. Alright, so as you can see, Kade's digging out parts from the back of the XD we're doing drums, or doing brake drums on the back and brake pads on the front. And then we are also doing an oil change, so you'll probably just see a little bit of clips here and there of us. If anything funny happens, you'll catch that as well. So